In today's class, we're going to talk about clever conclusions. Clever conclusions are the last sentence that you conclude your piece of writing with. That's the conclusion. And when we say clever conclusions, we want to sort of sum up our writing with a really interesting way, something that is going to basically stick with your reader. Okay, so there are different ways we can do that, and they're on this first slide here. We can do that with feeling, we can do that with a lesson, we can do that with advice, we can do that with a question, and we can do that with a cliffhanger. So let's go ahead and look into some of these. Okay, good writers have clever conclusions at the end of their writings. As I said, that's to kind of leave your reader with something to hang on to. The first one is feeling. This is telling your feelings or beliefs about whatever you just wrote about. Okay? I feel that you can be a good skier if you follow my steps. I believe skiing is the best sport in the world. Those are two examples of concluding with a feeling or a belief. Okay. The next one we have is a question. Okay, you can actually finish your piece of writing with a question. And this is asking your reader a somewhat rhetorical question. And if you don't know what rhetorical means, that means that the answer is obvious, or the answer was already given in your writing, further up in your writing. So the question that you want at the end generally is a question that they should know the answer to, either from the reader's previous experience or from reading your piece of writing, they would know the answer to that final question. So if you wrote a paper about how to ski and the steps to being a good skier, then your final clever conclusion sentence may be something like, "Do you think you can ski now?" Or, "Are you ready to hit the slopes?" So those would be clever questions to end the piece of writing with. Okay. This next one is lesson. Okay, sometimes a piece of writing may actually teach your reader a lesson. Okay, so this one is pointing out the lesson learned. Okay, so maybe you're telling a story about not lowering the bar on a ski lift, and the story is about how you fell off, or how you watched somebody fall off because they didn't lower the bar, and your story is all about that. So at the end, you may want to say, "So take it from me, it is very important to lower the bar on the chairlift." Okay, so that may be pointing out a lesson learned. All right. This next one is a piece of advice. Okay, sometimes advice and lesson learned, they can be a little similar, but they give but this one gives a piece of advice. So you may want to maybe you want to talk about a paper about getting your skis waxed, and your advice at the end may be, "Having waxed skis can make the day a whole lot more fun." So that's kind of giving them the advice to get your skis waxed. You may even actually say that. Get your skis waxed and you'll have a lot more fun. Get your skis waxed and skiing that day will be a whole lot easier. So that would be the piece of advice that you're giving them. You're giving them the advice to get their skis waxed. Okay? So these are all ways to conclude a piece of writing. And the last one, sometimes some kids may say this is the most interesting one or the most fun one, but this one is also sometimes the hardest one to write. Okay? It's leaving the reader with a statement that makes them want more. Okay, so let's continue with the thought of getting our skis waxed, okay? And let's pretend for a moment that we are a competitive skier, okay? And we're trying to make a good time on one of our ski runs. We're going to try to, get down there as fast as we can and make a really good time. And our paper or our paragraph is about getting our skis waxed. And at the end, you may say, I got my skis waxed that morning, and guess what happened on the final race of the day? And you leave it at that. And your reader's like, oh my gosh, they must have made the time. Whoa, that was so exciting. So that is kind of the cliffhanger, okay? So we're going to go ahead and fill these in with a particular topic, and we're going to show you how we can do, just kind of like we did on the topic sentence toolbox page, we're going to see how we can write a clever conclusion with the same topic for, each one of these styles. So first, we are going to go with the topic how to hit a home run, which is the same one we used for the topic sentence toolbox, but we're going to stick with that same one. So when you do yours, you may want to also stick with the same topic that you did your topic sentence toolbox so that you can actually form that into a full paragraph next week. Okay, so we're going to start with how to hit a home run and a feelings. Okay, so remember, when we do a feeling, we're telling our feelings or belief. And this may be, I feel anyone can hit a home run. Okay, so that's something you feel or you believe. So the next one is question. Okay, a question about how to hit a home run, concluding a question concluding that paragraph would be, do you think you could hit a home run? So your paragraph probably told them all about the mechanics and the steps and how to hit a home run. And at the end, you're asking sort of a rhetorical question of, do you think you could hit a home run? Because really in that paragraph, you're probably convincing them that they could. All right. Lesson. The lesson learned could be, from now on, follow my tips to hit a home run. So that would be a good conclusion to how to hit a home run. Okay. If we look at advice, okay, we're giving the reader advice on how to hit a home run. If you want to hit a home run, follow these tips. Okay, so you can see that advice and lesson are sometimes very similar, especially if you're trying to do it about the same topic. But any of these could be used for the same paragraph. Okay. And the last one, the cliffhanger. This is how it would read. I followed these tips the whole season, and guess what happened the last game? So you leave the reader with a little suspense. Okay, a lot of times movies are ended this way with a cliffhanger, especially if they're going to have another movie about that, a sequel. So cliffhangers are often really fun to finish your paragraphs with, and so that's how you would leave this one. I followed these tips the whole season, and guess what happened the last game? So any one of these 5 red sentences here could work for a how to hit a home run paragraph. And so whenever you do your paper, I want you to stick with the same topic if you can that you did your topic sentence toolbox paper, because then you can use those two and maybe even the sentence you built on your digging deeper supporting sentences. If you did one that matches that same topic, we can put it all together. Okay, so if you notice, it says you have a paper that says your turn, let's come up with some examples together. So I want you to work on this and then go ahead and submit it to me. And I would really like you to post your favorite on the classroom page so that we can maybe discuss that one a little bit and see if that one matches real well to any of your topic sentence toolbox sentences. So pick a topic and then see if you can't write a clever conclusion, actually 5 different clever conclusions for that one topic that we can pick from next week when we put our whole paragraph together. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be glad to get you answers and help you figure things out. So go ahead and get this done and turn it in. If you have any questions on how to turn it in, just go ahead and message me or post on the classroom page. But good luck with this week and have a great week.